So just the other day, World War III began releasing their 0.5 updates into the game. Now these aren't quite on the live servers yet, but they're still getting those updates pushed out weekly. So since it's been about 5 months since the initial launch of the game, I decided it'd be a good idea to go back from the beginning and take a look at what's changed from the initial release. Is the game any better? Should you buy now or wait? Has anything been fixed since that less than enjoyable release? Hopefully this video can answer some of those questions. But first, a word from our sponsor. Do you want heart-pounding action? Do you want jaw-dropping clutch wins? Do you want 360 no-scopes? Do you want overly obnoxious rage moments? Oh, shoot. Then head on over to my Twitch down below for some mediocre at best gameplay and lots of moments of silence until I learn how to talk to myself verbally instead of just in my head all the time. Thank you for that, sponsor. Okay, now on to World War III. The launch, if you were on day one, was pretty rough. Server issues, loading issues, optimization issues, just overall being unable to play the game. It's likely that a lot of you may have refunded the game, which, you know, makes sense. I'd be pretty salty if a game I bought was broken too. But over the past 5 months, the team at Farm 51 has been hard at work tweaking and heavily optimizing the game to prevent crashes and to squash those nasty bugs. That's not all they've been doing, luckily. They've also been adding a whole lot of content to the game as these updates are rolling out. So maybe you've bought the game and are just waiting to play until it gets a little better, or you're eyeballing the game and have heard some bad things about it, so you're hesitant to purchase. So this video hopefully is going to shed light on some of those things and show you where the game has come from since day one. Maybe it'll help you decide, maybe not. Either way, I want to go through a list of the biggest changes I think this game has had since launch. Now let's just start with the biggest and most important changes, the optimization and bug fixes galore. And to name them all would take quite a while, and I don't really want to list them out on this video, nor do I know all the fixes that have taken place. So I just wanted to pick out some major ones that you have probably experienced when you were playing or have heard about. First, no more infinite loading screen. There was a problem when you first tried to start the game. You would just get an infinite loading screen and that was it. You couldn't play the game. That has been gone for quite some time now, at least as far as I know. It may pop up here and there, but I haven't heard anything about it for a long time. Next, there was a big bug where you would spawn at certain places and you would fall through the map. This again rarely happens anymore, if any. I really can't recall anybody stating anything like this through my past playtime. Next, there was an ammo bug where you would spawn and not have the correct amount of ammo and you'd be out after one magazine. This is gone. Finally, many of the wall hacks have actually been fixed. Now you may know these because you might have been killed by someone using them, or if you're a buttface, you've been using them yourself. So those are gone, at least for the most part. I'm sure that more will probably pop up as things progress. Moving on to weapons and attachments that have been added. Now there's the MSBS Bullpup. This is an assault rifle that I've honestly had minimal playtime with, so I can't give you my opinion on it. Next is the Scar H, which is my favorite. It's a 7.62 battle rifle, which is the only battle rifle in the game currently, and it's pretty powerful. There's the DMG 9mm. It's a decent submachine gun with minimal recoil. When it first came out, it was basically a laser beam, but that's been fixed and now it's just like any other SMG. There's the VEPR, or VEPR, however you want to say it, which is just a 5.45 by 39 assault rifle. They've actually taken away the TOR, T-O-R, for a limited time because of balancing purposes, so I'm sure that'll make a comeback later, but they just weren't sure what to do with it. They also added some thermal scopes and pistol silencers, as well as just some other customization options. They've added a couple new game modes. First is going to be Team Deathmatch, and that's been in the game for a couple months now, which is really nice because it's an easy way to pick up the game and just kind of learn the mechanics and get your aim down before getting into the more competitive and tactical Warzone. Next is the Recon mode. Now, this isn't in the game just yet. It's currently in testing, but I'll tell you what, once it gets added to the full game, it's going to be a really cool game mode. I think it's a really enjoyable experience for right now, but more information will come out with that soon. But until then, it's just getting tweaked, and the devs are adding some various changes just to make it a more enjoyable experience and a more balanced experience so that they're not releasing a subpar game mode. There are a few new maps that have been added. The Moscow Senate is a team deathmatch map, and the Warsaw Shopping Mall is a team deathmatch map. They did have a map called Smolensk. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right, but that was implemented and then removed because people didn't like that there weren't any textures. It's more of a wide open and more rural combat, I guess you could say. So I think once they get the textures into that map, it's going to be a good addition to the game as well. There are a few new vehicles in this game now. First there's the buggy, then they added the Abrams tank and the IFV Boxer, which is just a type, I guess, of lighter tank with wheels, if you want to call it that. I'm sure I'll get corrected. But these are in the game as strikes, so you're not just finding them on the map, you have to earn these through battle points and then use them. Finally, some other big changes are some gameplay changes. They added a server browser, which has been incredible for finding matches and not getting into random matches with 0 people and having to wait for people, so that's been really good. There is a new time to kill, and this has been fluctuating based on user feedback, so that may change in the future, and there actually may be a different one on the PTE right now. I'm not 100% sure. There's a new armor system. They've added new types of armors and kind of modified how they're affected by different types of bullets. There's a new weight limit system, so even though you can carry quite a bit still, you still have a maximum amount of weight that you can carry. So you could still be really, really slow. You just can't carry everything that you want to carry. There is a new recoil system, and again, these are things that are subject to change because some things may be a little off or a little too unbalanced, so that may change in the future. This is a big one. They've added a VoIP system, so here pretty soon, again this is in the PTE, here pretty soon you should be able to talk to other squad mates there instead of having to get into Discord or another type of external source. Some sounds have been tweaked, so they're a little bit more accurate at the moment, and there have been new and more accurate animations, so the movement isn't as clunky. So those are some things that have been added, and here's the crucial aspect of the game. The devs are listening. They are very active in their community, and if you head over to the forum board or on Discord, you'll see the devs replying to almost every post and every question. Not only that, but they recently took a poll in the community as to whether they wanted to bring out more content or work on more stabilization. The community chose bug fixes and stabilization, so that's likely what they'll do. However, they've already done quite a bit. I can say with much confidence that 5 months after this game launched, it has improved a lot. This game is 10 times more stable than what it used to be. The game is much quicker to load up, and a large number of major bugs and connection issues have been taken care of. Not to say that more won't pop up in the future, because it likely will, and that's how these things work out. But the devs are working hard, and when a problem arises, they try to fix it as soon as possible. They're not some AAA title, but even with them, like Bethesda, months and months to fix a single bug because they're more worried about pushing microtransactions or some other shenanigans. Not here though. Now I know the original game plan was to get this done between 12 and 15 months or so, and I'm not sure about how the timeline is looking at the moment. The devs did put out a roadmap for their updates a while ago, but I know a few of those things have actually been pushed back a bit because of the bug squishing escapade, so I'm not exactly sure where they're at right now. But as far as the state of the game goes, I think that they've still got a lot of work to do. However, I think they're doing a great job, and I'm really thankful for their communication. Now, as far as buying the game, of course I think you should, but that's completely up to you. If you want to wait until the game is complete, you do you, but getting involved now could mean more and more input on where the game goes from here. If you've already had the game for a while and haven't picked it up for a few months, just give it a few days of your time and try it out. If that's something that you're actually going to do, just make sure you're getting on the European servers. Because the player base has been somewhat lower, many North American players have migrated over to those European servers because the numbers over there seem to be a little bit more consistent. Now note that your ping is going to be quite a bit higher and less than ideal, and that's kind of a bummer, but it's not terrible. Well, that pretty much does it for this video, guys. I appreciate you taking the time to watch and see where the game has come the past 5 months. There have been a lot of updates to this game. It's just that the updates are mostly patches and bug fixes and optimization, so it's kind of hard to make videos on those. But if another big update comes out, I'll be sure to let you know and post a video about it. If you want updated on the latest World War III info, feel free to give me a follow here and subscribe, and follow me on Twitch too. I'm trying to still figure out how to stream as far as optimization goes and making it run smoothly. I may need to get some more equipment, but we'll just see. But that pretty much wraps up this video, guys. Thanks for, again, taking the time to watch, and take care.